Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jim Patterson with EPM Live, and today's webinar topic is why EPM Live, and we're going to give you an overview and demonstration of the things that we feel are differentiators for EPM Live in the marketplace, and why you might want to look at us as your enterprise project portfolio and overall work management platform and solution within your organization. So a little introduction about us for those of you that are not familiar about us, with us. We are a global leader in enterprise project portfolio and work management solutions. We provide these based upon our experience in this domain. We're not a general systems integrator or solution provider. We really focus in this subject matter expertise based upon our PPM consulting background, project and portfolio management consulting background since 1999. We've helped thousands of customers not only put solutions in place, but also enable best practices and put processes in place to support those to get maximum value out of their solutions and their processes. One of the things that we do with EPM Live is provide fast, low-cost ways to deploy project portfolio and work management. We do this by having pre-built solution applications that really allow you to get up quickly without having to configure and build a solution from the ground up like many of the solutions in the marketplace have you do. Also, from an option perspective and from a power of choice perspective, we have a very low-risk approach to getting you up and running. We have both online SaaS models, which you can actually almost deploy and turn on and run and manage projects and work from day one. We also have on-premise solutions that you can install on your own servers. And more with the tightness of capital dollars, we have a lot of folks that start online with the full intention of going on-premise. And we have very easy mechanisms to be able to make that happen for you on a very streamlined basis. We're also a very full-service company, meaning any of the deployment services, professional services, or online services that you might need to help you be successful in your endeavor in deploying, we provide those for you as a one-stop shop, so you don't have to work with multiple entities in order to get these things to happen. We've got over 5,000 customers with our solutions in over 38 countries, so not only do we have a big customer base, we're also broadly dispersed across the entire world. And so our customers and the feedback we're getting on this solution is very good based on its adoption. From just the overall recognition perspective, we have a lot of recognition from industry analysts, from different organizations. Most recently, Gartner with their PPM Market Scope and Magic Quadrant, our inclusion in that analysis is something we're very proud of. So not only are we a fast-growing company, we're recognized by major players within our industry. And just for you folks that have a need to deploy these solutions and have kind of a worldwide footprint yourself, we do deploy worldwide and have partners all over the world that help us deploy if you need us to. So we have a footprint and the ability and the reach to help you be successful no matter how dispersed or distributed your company or your projects may be. So let's talk about our solution. One of the things that's key and a key differentiator about EPM Live solutions is that they are built on the Microsoft SharePoint platform. And why is that important? Well, one of the key things is to use what you already own or are already familiar with from a user-based perspective. Just a little bit of background. SharePoint is the fastest growing on-premise enterprise collaboration platform on the market today. As a matter of fact, it's now officially Microsoft's fastest growing product since its inception in the history of that company. That being said, there are more and more people who are at some level or in some degree leveraging Microsoft SharePoint within their organizations. That means it's a platform that's widely available, and it's a platform that people are more and more familiar with. If we can leverage that and do something that's existing and also familiar for your user base, things like adoption are very, very much, the barriers are very much reduced. And if it's a technology that's already existing within your organization, for example, you have the skill sets and the people internally who can help better support this rather than adopting yet another technology or solution of which you'd have to develop expertise or possibly even have dependence on a third-party vendor for its support. So there's a lot of compelling reasons why leveraging an existing platform makes sense. Now, that being said, SharePoint provides a lot of capabilities out of the box, and one of the reasons that we have deployed and developed on this platform is it's a very rich business collaboration platform for the enterprise. Things like being able to create sites and communities and be able to do global search, be able to have things like embedded workflows and content management and version control, check-in and check-out capabilities, and be able to build model business process with the workflow capabilities that are in there are all things that are inherent in the platform itself. By leveraging those things, the solution like EPM Live does not have to innovate or do those things uniquely in a way that is not familiar to your user base. So SharePoint provides a lot of rich collaborative capability and business process capability as a foundation for us to build on. And then what EPM Live does is really leverage those specific or broad capabilities in very specific ways. So to be able to provide things like on demand management, portfolio management, project management from a schedule and resource perspective, be able to provide project team-based collaboration with the elements that are important to project teams. And all the BI and reporting from a project, portfolio, and work management perspective are things that we provide leveraging the core capabilities of SharePoint. So the idea is that it's a very rich platform, but also then we take it and use it in very specific ways to provide very robust project portfolio management and overall work management capabilities. Now, for those folks that don't have SharePoint, and we think it's a compelling value for the folks that already have Microsoft SharePoint, the prior slides really provide a compelling reason as to why you might want to look at us and incrementally add us to what you're already doing in SharePoint. But for those of you that don't have SharePoint, or for those of you that are looking at a project and portfolio and work management solution that maybe feel that the need for SharePoint or that's not a relevant differentiator, we provide this in an online or a SaaS model, which is software as a service, including the bundling of services within that. We really feel, and the market is validating this, that the cloud or SaaS is the future of where solutions are going. The way we deliver these types of solutions is changing. And each generation brings new leaders in this. If you look back in the old days, in the 1960s mainframes, you had companies like IBM and CSC, et cetera, that used to be the leaders in that realm. And then when we got to client-server computing, companies like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft took the forefront. But now you're looking with the cloud today, you know, the new players, the way things are being delivered, the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Salesforce.coms. Those are the emerging leaders in the delivery of capabilities. So software as a service is really about delivering the capabilities of the software without necessarily having to own, maintain, and provide the infrastructure for that software. And EPM Live feels that we are on the forefront in the marketplace of project and portfolio and work management to be the leader in that realm in the cloud with our SaaS offerings. The other thing is just because it's SaaS doesn't mean you can't leverage the best of all worlds. Our vision and our capabilities of what we're doing today is about managing all of your work within your organization within our EPM Live cloud offerings, but still be able to integrate with other best-of-breed cloud offerings, folks like Salesforce.com. The idea is to be able to do things for companies that have overall cloud strategies, but not limit our customers just because they've made that cloud decision. Just because they're not on the same platform, servers, or domain does not mean that we cannot share data with other folks. So there's a lot of flexibility on working in one platform but having multiple cloud offerings. What's validated to us is the growth of this SaaS marketplace, and this is validated by the projections of different analysts. The Gartner Group says the compound annual growth rate for just PPM or project and portfolio management in the cloud, let alone cloud in general, is very compelling. A compound annual growth rate of 41% for project and portfolio management solutions is a very stout growth rate over the coming years as we're looking at. And if you look at that, the marketplace for this is growing and growing. Now that being said, we have a very strong cloud offering with a large base of SaaS and hosted customers today, in addition to the folks that we have on-premise. So we're doing both, but we do and we are prepared and ready for the explosion that is SaaS that's coming within the overall marketplace for software delivery. And why would you want to go SaaS? Well, first of all, there's lower initial costs. There's no initial capital outlay. You don't have to buy a lot of software up front. You don't have to provision servers and infrastructure for all of it. The idea is that you can actually subscribe, get on for a low monthly cost, and just pay for what you use, the number of users you buy. You don't have to license in advance for an anticipated user base. You can incrementally pay for the users that you're actually using at any given point in time and the capabilities that you're going to use. There are also faster and very less expensive implementations, meaning if you don't have to put up the infrastructure and the servers, etc., and you don't have to configure these from the ground up, and in a SaaS model, we can provide you ready-to-go applications and capabilities. You can almost be ready on day one to use these solutions and then incrementally augment them or tailor them as you want. This gives you lower risk because the fact is if you can subscribe for a low cost, get on, and quite frankly, if you found it wasn't a fit for you, you could actually get out and not have that big capital investment sitting there staring in you the face that you're going to have to absorb at some point. So the idea is that you can build traction, you can build user adoption, you can build critical mass, and incrementally as you go and add more and more users. But at any point, you have an exit strategy that does not provide a big cost hit if you do decide to go in another direction. Reduced operational management requirements, I was referring to that from just not having to manage the IT aspects of it all, and don't have to have the skill sets in-house, meaning you don't have to have the personnel to manage the technology, the underlying infrastructure, and have the ability to do all the routine maintenance and things that have to be done on the solution. So the idea is that's all taken on by the vendor like us when you go with the SaaS model. And if the software upgrades over time, the idea there is that the vendor, EPM Live, would be responsible for that, meaning you don't have to worry about the upgrade. We can apply those upgrades on our end, provide you the release notes and information on how to leverage the new capabilities and the things that were actually implemented in that upgrade, and really provide the ability for you to do that in a very seamless and low-cost way. Actually, it's included in your monthly service, so there really is, it's just part of the service that's being provided. And I would say that from an adoption rate perspective, you don't have to install software. You don't have to worry about deploying solutions out to a wide group. All you have to do is give people a user account and internet access, and they can be online instantaneously no matter where they are in the world. So there's a lot of benefits and flexibility to go in with that SaaS model. The other thing is that you can actually bundle all your services. I had mentioned with pre-built solutions, you can pretty much be going from day one with the solutions that are there. But there are folks that want to tailor or personalize or customize the solution for their particular organizations. And unlike many SaaS vendors, we have the ability to allow them to administer those things themselves and incrementally add those things, or actually have us as a company support them in getting those put in a best practice way. So that being regarded, instead of the traditional model where you buy your software and then, let's just say, also procure a large consulting services contract in addition to the software costs, in the SaaS model, we actually provide models where we bundle all that into the same monthly fee that you have for your overall effort, meaning that you don't have to manage a large consulting contract or vendor contract on top of what you're doing for your software. It can be all-inclusive in our bundled service offerings, and that can include configuration and deployment services, include support services, it can include training services, upgrade and health check services, and those types of things, all be bundled in without being burdened with additional procurements on that end. So the SaaS model is very compelling. So we offer it both ways, in-house for those folks that are on SharePoint today, in a SaaS model for folks that either that's not relevant for or who don't have SharePoint today. So we have a lot of flexible deployments to meet a wide variety of needs. The other key thing is that in the realm that we're in, a lot of folks buy say, project management systems or portfolio management systems. But the real concept is that that's only a fraction of the work that's being managed within an organization. In IT, for example, traditional estimates are that project management or traditional project work may be only 30% of the workload. There's more operational and other types of work that are going on in there that really manage total workload. And if you're really looking at managing your resources across all of that, if you're only looking at 30% of the workload, you may not have the most effective, let's just say, resource management or analytics again, pertaining to all the work that's being done. So being able to manage all work in a single platform is a compelling differentiator that we have with EPM Live. Because essentially work is everywhere. It's across the entire organization, and it comes in different forms and natures. Some folks think of managing your projects as managing your schedules and your tasks and your resource assignments on those. Well, tasks, even just in projects, are just one aspect of actionable things and work that have to happen. People get assigned issues all the time. Some may take significant time to actually resolve and take a lot of the resource bandwidth. People get lower-level action items and to-dos that don't rise to the level of a line item in a schedule. There's change requests that come in, etc. There's folks managing agile type of work using a more agile, iterative-based methodology where they get backlog items and defects and user stories, etc. And then operational, unplanned work that comes in, things that are problems, issues, incidents, those types of things are all part of the workload that come into people that if we're going to manage work effectively, we have to factor in and accommodate all of those types of things. And what's really happening today is most folks are using disconnected systems and processes to manage different work types. They have major systems, processes, and databases for just service management. Application management, the same story. And then for traditional project management, they have their own realm. The idea is that they're disconnected and siloed and difficult to manage and difficult to bring together for common visibility into what total workloads are for individuals or for an organization as a whole. So what we do is we bring all work together, a single funnel for demands where you can have projects of different types, whether they're traditional projects or maybe agile-related developments. We can do incidents and changes and all different types of work, process those and funnel those through the appropriate work process, but in a total work management concept, meaning they can go through their individual work processes, get assigned to people within the same solution so they only have one place to go to look at their total workload from an individual resource perspective, and then have one database of information where you can actually do all the reporting against that, making it a more natural output of that process. So if you look at introducing EPM Live for all work, all the different work types, as broad a definition of work as you'd like to make it, we can make it using templated features that allow you to manage these different work types. We can also integrate with other best-of-breed solutions. So if you already have things in place for other types of work that are already your systems of record, we are very routinely bringing in workload from other solutions so we can do things like analyze capacity versus demand for all work. One of these other solutions might be your system of record for a certain type of work, and you may still have that type of silo. But how about letting EPM Live bridge that gap by providing you common visibility and looking at what total workload looks like and be able to analyze, manage, and maintain that over time in a realistic fashion? Because the types of work that are being managed in these other third-party tools could have a bearing on your ability to deliver the work that you're managing in our tools. So in that regard, we have different bundled applications so that we can do different things like project and portfolio management, new product development, application portfolio management and development, IT planning and control. We have all different types and an ever-growing list of applications, which we'll talk about a little bit later, to help you manage all the different types of work within your organization and accommodate all the different work processes that go around those. And EPM Live then takes enterprise capabilities and provides the ability to roll all this data up and get visibility and management into an entire portfolio of work, managing all your schedules and resources across all of that and get common visibility into that without having to go into individual workspaces, say, for example, to get those types of things. Being able to manage cost and budgets around those and actuals, collect time with time reporting. And from an overall work management perspective, having an individual resource have only one place to go to see workload coming across all these different types of work without having to monitor, say, 3 or 4 different applications and areas within those specific applications. So the business value proposition here is that with EPM Live, there really is no need for separate and often expensive applications to manage different work types. We can also generate increased value from your investment in SharePoint, meaning let's get incremental value in something you've already done with SharePoint, or we can do it in the SaaS model. We can also provide increased efficiency for your knowledge workers and your team members on your projects by getting all of their work in a single solution so they can have a very streamlined way to get the information to them and provide feedback to the people managing that work. And if you really look at it, if we can do this successfully, we would then have the opportunity to retire multiple solutions that you're now using that can be handled in one solution, meaning all of the software costs and the maintenance costs and the resources that you expend maintaining those solutions could be significantly reduced by having these all in one common platform. So from a deployment options perspective, once again, it's not a one-size-fits-all world. So you do have the power of choice. So when you come into this, our capabilities in our solution do not change regardless of which deployment option you choose. The solutions in our EPM Live offerings are the same whether or not they're done on-premise or if we're doing it online. You know, two flavors of our online offering is the SaaS and or the hosted model. The SaaS is really quickly provisioned, ready to go environments with pre-built solutions, and we basically can provision those and spin those up for you almost immediately with full capabilities with pre-built solutions. That SaaS model is quick, easy, and as I mentioned, very low risk. In more of a hosted model, sometimes people want something a little bit more dedicated. They might want their own servers. They might have some needs beyond what the pre-built solutions have, and they want to do something a little bit more tailored for them. We would still be hosting the solution from our data center, but we would do things a little bit more tailored for that user and provide something more hosted that they wouldn't have to manage the IT, but provide them maybe even more latitude or capabilities or customization from what they might want on that hosted model. The idea is that we still provide the IT and deliver that to them over the internet. And then obviously the on-premise solution is really deploying our capabilities as software that you would install on your existing SharePoint farm and just incrementally add it as solutions and features in that environment and incrementally add to what you're already doing with SharePoint. So the idea is you can do any or all of these. And in the cloud environments that we offer, we also have additional kind of substrata of choices here. For example, we do have shared environments that keep things very, very low cost and allow people to provision environments, though they're separated through permissions and things like that, where users and especially smaller customers can get into a shared environment very quickly and often called a multi-tenant environment, get up very quickly with those types of things. Also, we can have dedicated solutions, meaning we can have dedicated servers for our customers, for those folks that want to have their own piece of the world. And we can do this in two flavors. We have virtual dedicated, meaning they're virtual environments or virtualized environments, and that can be your application servers, your web front end, and or your SQL servers, making it easy to replicate, making it easy to spin up, and making it lower cost to deploy in a virtual environment. And we also have customers that prefer, and their idea is they want actually their own physical dedicated hardware boxes in their environment, and we also entertain that as well. So the idea is there's a lot of capabilities in how we would actually support you in a cloud or online environment. Also, there's the whole aspect of maturity and organizational readiness. Our philosophy at EPM Live is that we want to meet you where you're at. We do not want to provide a one-size-fits-all solution and then try to make you fit to the limited view of what that solution might be. Reality is that organizations are at different levels of project management maturity and organizational readiness. That being said, through industry analysts, most organizations are at a level 0 or level 1 capability or maturity in an organization. And we want to be able to provide tools and solutions for all of these, from the level 0 all the way up to the level 5. And we're also finding that even within individual organizations, different departments or business units within those organizations may vary in their level of maturity or organizational readiness. So we would like to be able to provide the different tiers of capabilities based upon the audience or the constituency that we're trying to address, even if it's different within single companies or single organizations. To that end, we do have different tiers of our product, but all based on the same solution. Project Engine is kind of our more entry-level web-based project collaboration that provides team collaboration and project collaboration and schedule management online in a SaaS model only. And the idea is that we provide these capabilities easy entry. Work Engine really gets into taking that to the next level, where we not only manage entire portfolio views and manage project portfolio visibility, we really get into more detailed capabilities in the areas of resource management against all projects and work. And we really start tackling the concept of all work here, where we have tools to do project planning in a more traditional waterfall way, more agile planning tools to manage sprints and iterations in a more iterative-based planning and tracking method, and also manage things like service requests and more of that operational work that comes in on an ad hoc basis, and adding things like time management and central work management capabilities. And then Portfolio Engine really builds upon Work Engine. It has all the capabilities that Work Engine has, but adds on the strategic portfolio and project, more of the strategic direction from more of a top-down perspective. You know, more demand management, portfolio analytics, and portfolio selection and ranking, budgeting and cost planning and modeling, what-if scenarios, resource capacity planning from the top down in a more, let's just say, FTE-based, higher-level resource planning perspective, not from a task-based perspective. The idea is that you could start it anywhere on this continuum, if you look at this as an increasing continuum, without having to deploy another solution later on. A lot of folks that are in that Project Engine area, they go to these lightweight tools that have very low ceilings and have to go shop for another tool in a year, year and a half. In this scenario, you would just add the Work Engine capabilities simply by incrementally adding it to what you're doing with Project Engine and get to the next level of capabilities. And the same goes true going from Work Engine to Portfolio Engine. Mostly a very easy turning on or licensing of additional capabilities gives you this increasing scale, meaning you can start where you're at but have a very high ceiling and a lot of headroom for where you want to take this in your organization. That being said, it addresses all market tiers. I mean, we have free offerings in Project Engine where you can get on and manage a single project with unlimited users at no charge, but only for $99 a month have unlimited users and 25 projects. And then Work Engine gives you those capabilities at an increased charge, and then Portfolio Engine incrementally beyond that, but all at a very reasonable monthly per user cost as you go on. And this is the starting point for low numbers of users. These actual prices actually go down with quantity. So there's a lot of capabilities as far as being managed and addressing the needs of different levels of maturity and capability, but having a lot of scalability for capabilities and maturity as you grow as an organization. Also, we view EPM Live as an application development platform. I mean, our core and what we talk about is project and portfolio and overall work management, but that can take on a lot of different realms and take a lot of breadth across an organization for different levels of capabilities and through your overall work management process. That being said, we support and we are delivering and incrementally be able to turn on these capabilities almost at the push of a button to be able to provide additional applications or capabilities that are bundled to do very specific things for specific industries, like new product development and professional services automation, construction and engineering, IT governance and planning, program management, more of the sales and CRM type of capabilities. These are the types of things that we're adding to this platform so people can manage work end to end. So we're not only providing these solutions ourselves natively from EPM Live, but through our partner network, a lot of our partners are providing applications that you can actually turn on and introduce to your EPM Live environment to provide very specific capabilities. Now, right now with our native applications, you know, if you either buy our software or subscribe to our platform from an online or SaaS model, our native applications are being provided to you at no additional charge. You may be using just project management today, and if all of a sudden you wanted to implement our professional services automation piece, you can actually just turn that on and just choose to leverage that without paying additional licensing fees at that point. So the idea is you're buying into a platform that has ever-reaching capabilities, and you can leverage those at the time that is right for you. With that end, we are launching what we call our App Marketplace, where you could go into your solution, select, say, professional services automation like you see here, provide your system URL, and it would actually install all the incremental capabilities for PSA or professional services automation on top of your existing solution and check to make sure you had all the prerequisites in place. So the idea is that these things are going to be incremental adds that are going to be part of a net benefit of you being into our platform. You're not buying these things as modules and things like that. You're really getting more benefit out of your investment in our platform. We're also changing the way people work. We're providing more and more, a lot of more social work management capabilities into what we're doing. You know, our solution does have a concept of team discussions, and on any item or project or work item, you can actually have threaded comments or discussions on any of those items. We're providing notifications in the solution that are, you know, very Facebook-like in the way that you get those things without having to necessarily get them via email or in some other type of passive notification method. And more, we're having built-in integrations with more enterprise social work management tools like Yammer, et cetera. So the idea is that you can really take it into the way people are doing work and the way the upcoming workforce and younger workforce is coming in and using the methods that they're traditionally used to using for communicating and managing their work. One of the things we really pride ourselves is in our customer service and our support, and I think we're doing some things that differentiate us here from other competitors that we have in the marketplace. Our support resources are very varied and very broad in the ways that you can get support and information from us. We do have online forums where you can connect with other EPM Live users and staff and get advice and collaborate on things like that. We have a very vast searchable knowledge base with articles and things that people have done in the past so you don't reinvent the wheel, things like how to do workarounds and do unique things and how to really leverage the most out of product features, etc. We have our FAQs, or frequently asked questions, so that you can go see those things without having to reinvent the wheel. We have a full library of documents and, that have to do with installation manuals and end user guides and other upgrade instructions and other things like that. We have an ever-increasing library of videos so that you can actually look at very targeted subjects on how to do certain things or ways to leverage certain things, or maybe even create vision for where you can take your solution and those types of things, and we have that type of support for you. We also have the ability to log a support request. So online we can get support and get interaction with our help desk team to kind of get you personalized assistance on issues that you might be facing. And we're also going to be talking about our new EPM Live University from a training perspective and just from a learning management perspective that really gives us an edge. So the idea is that there's not one way for us to be supported here. You can leverage all of the resources at your disposal and be supported in a way that makes the most sense for you. We've also launched a customer success program, which really is about enhancing the customer experience. One thing that's different with us is, you know, you may be working with somebody, with a vendor from a sales perspective, and then it comes time to deployment, and then you're kind of in the deployment and you're getting other people and those types of things. We believe that having dedicated account managers that are going to be with you through thick and thin and through the entire life cycle of what you're doing is important to customer success. You don't want to be talking to a different representative every time you call in. So the idea, we have the concept of dedicated account managers for our customers so that they can actually feel comfortable, familiar, and also know that the person that they're talking to knows them and their business and their solution. We're also assigning customer satisfaction reps, ones who are supporting the account managers and making sure overall that you're going to have a satisfactory experience, checking in to see how you're doing, how you're liking our service, what we're doing for you, making sure that the opportunities to simplify your experience with us are taken advantage of. And the idea is that the key here is to make sure that you're happy along the way. We'll also schedule routine health checks of your system. So as people go on through and they may find there's an improved way to do things, or maybe we'll have new innovations that can maybe improve things that you're currently doing. We can do those incrementally to make sure that your system is operating in a way that's most optimum, up to date, and serving your needs the best. Also, when you come on board as a new customer, you have personalized onboarding and welcoming and expectation setting and really tailoring the training experience for you in a way that makes the most sense for you. And we'll talk about that separately about our training options. The key is that we feel that this innovative customer success program is really providing successful and happy customers at the end of the day. We do have now 24/7 support, meaning global coverage and time zone changes and things like that are something that's available. So the idea you can get support anytime, anywhere from our help desk organization. Okay, our EPM Live University. I mentioned I was going to talk about this, about our flexible and personalized training options. And really, our EPM Live University is really an overall learning management system, meaning all kinds of things that we can do. Not only do you subscribe to this learning management system and get access to all kinds of documentation and guides for self-paced training, you also get access to all types of videos and our go-to training, which is basically instructor-led live courses that are handled over the internet. And the idea is that you can manage your own learning path, your own training course management, and do all this stuff at your own pace in a way that makes sense for you. So the idea here is this flexible online training options, as well as we still do on-premise training for our customers who want to have, the traditional, live classroom setting, and that we offer that as well. So it means that whether it be an online training class that's instructor-led, a recorded video that teaches you something very specific about a gap in your understanding that you may want to learn about, or have somebody pay a visit to your organization to do a customized training class for you right at your location or at some other site, we offer that as well. So meaning the personalized training experience to get the most out of this. We want you to learn in the way that makes the most sense for you. So at the end of the day, EPM Live Advantages, are the fact that, we are built on SharePoint for ease of use and familiarity, and leveraging the capabilities of SharePoint, which is very powerful. For those of you that aren't on SharePoint or that's not necessarily relevant in your search for a solution, our SaaS offerings in combination with our on-premise offerings give you the ability to leverage all these capabilities without necessarily being committed to or mature in your deployment of SharePoint. And all the advantages of SaaS of being able to get in quickly and at a low-risk basis. Also, our pre-built solutions provide for very, very rapid deployment with a lower cost of deployment and a quicker time to solution. So the idea is that you're going to get the benefits sooner with a lower initial outlay. Also, we have all the solution options to meet you where you're at. Depending on where you're at from a capabilities, maturity, or just an organizational readiness perspective or cultural perspective, we can meet you where you're at, but not be limited in where we can take you. We have a broad spectrum of lighter weight to heavier weight options with different levels of rigor and capabilities, and you can grow into those with a lot of headroom and a high ceiling for growth. We do have applications to manage all types of work. So the idea is that it's not just the traditional project work. You can manage all the different types of work that are going on with your organization. And we have different deployment options and bundled services so that you can actually get this done as part of your implementation, or I just say your overall subscription or license fees. We also have a wide range of customer support programs and options for you to help make you successful and keep you satisfied as a customer. And our EPM Live University is a very robust mechanism to provide you training in the way that makes the most sense for you. And our application marketplace is going to be an ever-increasing, growing market or store for you to get additional applications or capabilities added to your solution at a time when it makes sense to do so without having to buy into another platform or yet into another module potentially. So the idea is we have a lot of advantages in these areas that you may want to take advantage of. Now that being said, let's just take a quick look at some of these things. We don't really have time for a detailed demonstration, but the idea here is that our EPM Live solution is really going to give you the ability online in a SharePoint environment to manage all of your work in your projects, meaning managing portfolios of projects, or individually in your own homepage for a particular user, seeing the projects that are important to you. Giving users a place to go, one place to get their work individually so you can see on any number of projects your issues, your tasks, your operational tasks. Be able to comment on things like this so you can have threaded discussions on any work item or any project. The idea is we can do all this within a single solution. We can manage your resource loads and your capabilities, doing service work, and all the reporting around that, all from one single place. Also, if you wanted to add beyond just a more project, traditional project management realm, you can go into a scenario where you can start adding on different capabilities, like more CRM type of capabilities, where from a sales perspective, you might want to be able to manage your leads and your accounts and your opportunities. Those opportunities could be what is as they close or as they become reality, those become your projects. And managing things like your quotes and your orders and your invoicing and all those types of things around this, in addition to what you're doing with your projects. And all of these things can be incrementally added from our app marketplace and really just add different capability menus into here without radically changing what you've done with your other things, like if you started out with project management. Being able to manage product development and new product development, managing things like product roadmaps, product lines, understanding who your competitors are, and then managing the actual development of those products through their life cycle and managing different releases and versions and models of those products. Managing different portfolios and programs so that you can manage portfolios as group of projects that are aligned with certain criteria, maybe organizational objectives or organizational strategies, or maybe with certain larger programs that these projects have to be interdependent with. And the idea of those things are there. From an IT perspective, we have the ability to do application portfolios and asset portfolios and managing service requests and projects around those things, and then manage all the resources and capacity and demand around those things. Our App Store, very nice online way to incrementally add these types of solutions to what you're doing. All of our native stuff is currently being made available at no additional charge to our customers. Our EPM Live University is that online training area where you can go in and you can actually register for courses and actually manage your learning path. Let me go in here and log in. And I must have timed out. And then I can go in here and register, for example, any of the documentation or guides or manuals that are available. I can actually subscribe or actually watch any of the on-demand videos by different categories that are here for incremental training or at my own pace. I also have the ability to go into a whole array of different instructor-led admin or end-user training courses that I can schedule or register for and actually do that, and then manage my own individual learning path. So as I know what my role is and what I've bought in the solution, it can tell me what's the relevant course, and I can manage those incrementally over time. So a very nice solution mix here for training. So those are just some of the things I wanted to show you quickly live. I know we've run over time that we allocated to this. I would say this, that if you would like to have us go into more depth with you, please feel free to reach out to us at epmlive.com. You can request either a trial or a demo or more information about our solutions here and how we might be able to help you in your organization. With that, I'd like to thank you for your time today and for your attendance. And please reach out to us if we can be further assistance. But we feel we have a lot of differentiating reasons why you would want to engage with EPM Live for project portfolio and just overall work management. Thank you and have a great day.